Hey guys, this is Tajine Brown McBean of Money Coaching Services, and we're here again to help you to improve your finances. So today we're going to talk about how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. You heard us right. Stop living paycheck to paycheck. It is possible, right? So today we are going to give you the steps of what you need to do to make this a reality. Okay, so first we're going to start with stop being broke in the middle of the month each month, right? So the steps for doing that, you have to have a budget. You have to have a budget to track your income and your expenses. You must know what is coming in and what is going out to be able to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Now, when you're able to see what are the areas that you are spending on, now you are able to decide what is a priority, what stays, what goes, what to increase, what to decrease. Okay, so we suggest for many persons, most people have smartphones. So we are suggesting a quick and easy way to do your budget, and that is to use your Google app. This one, I use this one, it's called MoneyWise. 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 That's correct, MoneyWise. So this is a free app in the Google Play Store, and you'll be able to put in your income and your expenses, present date and future date. So what do I mean by that? Say for example, you are putting in your income. So you put in your income, and it is up to you whether you want to put in your gross income or your net income. Your gross income is the amount before taxes. Your net income is the amount after taxes, and compare it to what you're getting as your income, right? So if your expenses are more than your income, the first thing you need to do is go over each income and decide whether you are going to reduce the amount you spend on those expenses and decide by how much, or if you're going to cut it out altogether, right? So say for example, you normally go out every Friday night with your friends. You might not want to cut this out altogether. You might decide that, okay, I'm not going out every Friday night with the friends. So two times out of the month, I'm gonna stay in and save that money, right? So you can actually decide to reduce the frequency of how you use an expense. So that is a way of cutting down your spending. Another way of cutting down your spending is deciding where it is you want to go before you leave home, so that you don't go to work, then come home, then go back on the road, then come home, then making too many trips to and fro and spending too much time and money in transportation costs. So if you can find a way how to reduce your transportation costs just by planning ahead, that will also help you to cut back on your spending. So the next thing you need to consider is delaying your expenses in the first week of being paid. And this one is one that is an emotional situation for most people. I used to have the trouble. When I get paid, the only thing I can think about is all the things I want to buy that is nice and pretty for myself. What dress, what shoes, what hair, what nails, what I want to do, right? And After a while, I realized that I was not saving anything. And I'm saying not even $2,000 I was saving. And I'm saying this doesn't make any sense. This makes absolutely no sense. So I started to think about how I actually spent money. And this might be the same thing for you. Do you spend, or do you have this thought in your mind as you get paid that is immediately you need to spend? For me, the answer was yes. Now, I am to the point where when I get salary or income, the first week I don't spend unless it's a utility bill, something that falls in the category of needs, like housing, transportation, utilities, and grocery. So in the first week, I'm only focusing on that, right? Because I realize that it is in the first 2 weeks that most people end up broke. And then you have to be begging friends and family to save you until the next payday. So the strategy is, this is what the people who live in paycheck to paycheck do. They spend most of their money from payday and a week for a whole 2 weeks, and then their money is finished. And those who stop living paycheck to paycheck, what they do, right? When they get their pay, they sit down and say, okay, I'm going to save this amount, and then I'm going to take my time and spend the little money that is left, so that when payday comes, I have some money left in the bank just in case there is a problem getting the salary, right? Has anyone ever had a situation that payday came and the boss said to you, we have a problem, the salary is not ready, right? Those things can happen. And that is like a nightmare to most people because you have your bills to pay. You're saying, boss, this is not my problem. This is your problem. You need to fix it. And you start to panic. At least you probably don't say that to your boss face to face, but you say it in your mind and you get upset. How is it that I do my work and I can't get paid, right? So this is why stop living to paycheck to paycheck is so important, because things come up that are unplanned for. So it is always good for you to have some money. All right. So figure out if you need to earn more to pay your general expenses. Now, some of you are not earning enough, especially those of you who are earning minimum wage, right? Minimum wage people, you have to find other ways to increase your income. One lady called me one time and I spoke to her and I was saying to her, what is it that you like to do? And she said, oh, I like working with children. And I said, why not start up a Saturday daycare? She said she didn't have the space. I said, okay, go and find a friend who has the space, and then you work out with her how the payments would go, get the Saturday daycare registered and everything, and do a Saturday daycare. There are many persons who they go shopping on Saturdays, and they would love to have somewhere to drop off the kids so that they don't have to bring them behind them everywhere they go, because it slows them down, right? So be creative in how you think about earning your additional income to increase how much you earn. Now, this other strategy is pay bills first. Pay your bills first. Pay your light bill, pay your water bill, pay your phone bill, pay your rent, and pay your grocery. Those things are important. Pay those first before you start spending on other things, right? You can also budget for fun. What this means is that you can budget for how much money you're going to spend when you go out to socialize with your friends, right? So you have the chance to go out, spend time with them, enjoy yourself, but you are also able to keep track of your expenses. Now we're at level 2, which is how to have money from your previous salary on payday, right? How to have money from your previous salary. So say you're in July now and you're going to get your next pay. How to have money from June salary on payday, right? So step 1, stop spending more than you earn. In order to have something left back, you have to spend less than you earn, right? Spend less than you earn. Now, in order to spend less than you earn, you have to know how much you're earning, how much you're spending, decide what to cut, and decide if, after you've cut all of that, if any savings is left, right? If no savings is left, what you have to do is find a way to increase your income, and the increase in your income, you can use it as your savings. Step 2 would be to make saving automatic by setting up a standing order or doing a salary deduction or setting up an online automatic payment system on your online banking, right? So it transfers money from your salary account to your savings account, and you set up a fixed amount. When you're just starting, it doesn't really matter how much you're saving, because what you want to do is to develop the discipline of actually saving something. So if you can only save $1,000, 1,000 Jamaican dollars, fine. It's better than saving nothing at all. Then after a while, you're going to see the money start to grow. And when you see the money start to grow, this is when you're going to say, okay, what else can I cut? What else can I cut so I can save more? Or what other side income can I have that I can save more? Because you're going to start getting excited that all of a sudden you have money put down, right? You have money so that you don't have to be worrying, right? And having money in the bank gives you peace of mind. All right, so the next thing you want to do is don't save in your salary account. Don't save in your salary account, because when you save in your salary account, sometimes it is difficult for you to really figure out how much is actually there for savings and how much is there to pay your expenses. So set up a savings account, and then you transfer the money from your salary account each month to your savings, right? When you do that, everything is clear to you. It is clear that after you transfer the money from your salary account, that anything that is left back in the salary account is to be spent on expenses. No confusion will happen there if you separate your salary account and create a savings account. So save where it is inconvenient. Yes, I have to repeat that. I used to have this challenge as well. Because if I kept my money, I used to work at Bank of Nova Scotia, and if I kept my money at the branch I was working, or if I had access to the money with the ABM card, that money was going to be spent. So if I earn 200,000, I'm spending 200,000. If I earn 300,000, I am spending 300,000. So what eventually I had to do is I set up an account at a different bank, and I did not put any ABM card on it. So the only way I could get money from that account would be for me to physically go there, stop from work and go there to draw the money. Now, with my personality, I don't have time for that. I like things that are quick to do and very convenient, right? I'm one of those people persons. I don't like joining lines, so I will use online banking. So I'm not going to stop from work and go anywhere unless it's an emergency. Emergency. Like somebody go and die, or somebody in the hospital, or something like that. So this type of savings helps me to plan, and also it helps to curtail my enthusiasm for loving to spend. After a while of doing this, what happened is that I started to develop the discipline of having the money at the same bank, but I still separated my salary from my savings, and everything was still at Scotiabank. And as long as it's not an emergency, I didn't touch it. So every savings account I have, it has a purpose. So I have a savings account for paying insurance, meaning insurance premium for car insurance and home insurance. I have a savings account for emergency fund and things like that. So this helps me now to keep on track as to where my money is going and what my money is doing. Another thing is that if you're not good with, if you don't have a lot of discipline when it comes to spending money, stop using credit cards. Credit cards are not for persons who are quick to spend. They will get you in a lot of trouble, especially you guys who love to pay minimum payments. Minimum payment is a trick. Minimum payment is what the bank uses for you to keep paying them for a long period of time. Okay, so say for example, you have a balance on the, you have an amount that you need to pay of 200,000, right? And that's your limit. And your interest rate is like 35%. You know, if you paid only minimum payment to this credit card, it will take you 30 years, 30 years to pay off the credit card if you're just using minimum payment. So minimum payment is not your saving grace. Minimum payment is sending you into poverty by 3 decades. So credit cards are not for persons who have a spending problem. You cannot see the money and not touch it. Credit cards are not for you. All right. So don't get sucked in by sales. You know, sometimes you have the retailer say, oh, we have 50% off, 50% off this. That is not a deal unless you actually need what they're selling. If you don't need what they're selling, it is actually a disadvantage to you and not an advantage, because the purpose of you stop living paycheck to paycheck is that you can finally have enough money to start saving and investing. And here is where you start creating wealth. Yes, wealth. Who doesn't want to be financially free, right? You're supposed to want to just work because you feel like working, you don't feel like staying home. But you need your money to be working for you at all times. So the next level is what we call how to accumulate money to cover at least 1 month's salary. Did you get that? Let me repeat. Level 3 is how to accumulate money, how to get your money to grow so that it will reach to at least 1 month's salary you have in the savings account, just in case anything happens, right? So first way of doing that, you have to save your raise and bonus. Save it, set it and forget it. Put it over into your savings account and pretend like you never got any bonus and you never got any raise until you are able to save up to 1 month of your expenses or 1 month of your salary, right? Focus on ways to increase your income. Now, this is important. A lot of people want to be financially free, but they don't want to do anything extra. You have to go the extra mile if you want to reach further than everybody else. If you just want to do what others are doing, you're going to get the same results that they are getting, right? And like me, I don't want to be like them. I don't want to have to be fretting about money. It's not a nice feeling. I've been at Scotiabank and I went to the collections department, and when I hear the calls, when people call them and say, oh, Mr. Brown, you owe the bank how much money, and you hear their voice and how they're depressed because they don't know where they're going to find the next dollar to pay the bank, right? Because something happened, whether somebody died or they lost their job, or probably they're just not good with spending money. But it's not a good feeling when you have to be stressing about money and people calling you and say, oh, you owe, pay us now. So focus on ways on increasing your income. The first thing you can think about is, what is it that you actually like to do that can actually earn you some money, right? Do you like to write? Do you like to sing? Do you like to do public speaking? Do you like sales? Do you like to create websites? Do you like teaching? These are ways and just some suggestions, so you can think of other suggestions as well to help you increase your income. And now you need to decide when you're actually going to provide these services. So you can set up like an hour after work each day, like Monday to Friday. You do an hour, provide the service, or some people might consider working on the Saturday. So they have work Monday to Friday, and they decided, okay, half of Saturday, so say from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., they are going to work on the side income, right? So once a week, you can work on your side income. So these are just suggestions, and get some money in, and the money you put this money down towards your savings. Or you can do what we suggest next. You save some and you use some to pay down your debt. If you have a lot of loans, if you have a lot of credit card, pay down your debt, right? Debt is not, loans are not something that as you see them, oh, the bank is advertising that you can get $1 million and you only have to pay, 19,000 or 20,000 per month. Conditions apply. Do not fall for the trick. If you don't have a good reason for taking the loan, do not take it because you are putting yourself in debt. All of your expenses should not be on buying things that do not cause you to earn more money. Full stop. Do not spend 100% of your income on expenses that do not generate money. That is correct. So, my personal story is that I went from saving $2,000 per month to saving $70,000 per month due to the fact that I did a debt reduction strategy. This strategy entailed me looking at all the expenses between me and my husband, right? At the time that I did this, I was working with Scotiabank. And I said, honey, you deal with all the expenses, like the regular expenses, the groceries, the utility bills, and so on. I will deal all with the debts. I will deal with the mortgage, the credit cards, the car loans. I will deal with all of that. So now I shifted where I was responsible for dealing with the debt. So I made a plan and created the plan. And because of that plan now, after I paid off all those debts, I was able to save $70,000 per month because of that discipline and that sacrifice. Now, do you have what it takes to do a plan like that? Do you have what it takes? Because this is what it takes for you to accumulate wealth. Sacrifice today so you can win tomorrow. The next level is you building an emergency fund, which is 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. 3 to 6 months of your monthly expenses. What does that mean? If each month you spend 200,000, right? 3 times 200,000 is 600,000. So if you create an emergency fund of 600,000, that would be a 3-month emergency fund. And that would be in a special savings account that you have set up, right? Now, this emergency fund does not need to be in Jamaican currency. It can be in US dollars, pound sterling, Canadian dollars. It can be in foreign currency, right? So that you can earn money from the devaluation of the Jamaican dollar. Because some people say, oh, they don't think it's a good idea to have money sitting down. It's a good idea to have money sitting down, right? As an emergency fund. Here is a typical case, Corona. Nobody planned for Corona. Nobody planned for Corona. Some people, they won't be getting paid for the time that they are off work. For the time that they are sick, they won't be getting paid. So this is what an emergency fund is for the things that come up that nobody expected could happen. If you lose your job, this is what an emergency fund is for. If you get ill and cannot work and you need money, this is what an emergency fund is for. It is to protect you from unnecessary stress so you can sleep at your bed at night time and not stressing about money and not worrying about, oh my God, what am I going to do? This, my friends, is why you create an emergency fund. So this is our training for today on how you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. Thank you guys for joining me and have a wonderful day. Bye.